Buenos días.
Good morning. Is ledge still happening, staff?
No, we're done with ledge.
Okay, all right. Do you want to start the opening remarks then?
Yes, we'll begin housekeeping comments. Thank you.
Thank you for participating in today's meeting. If attending in person, please do not connect to Zoom or teleconference while in the room. And please silence all devices. Click on the globe at the bottom of your screen to select either English or Spanish. Public comment will be taken after each item. If you are in the auditorium and wish to comment, please use the iPads located in the lobby. For meetings and other locations, please complete a blue speaker card and provide it to a South Coast AQMD employee. Speakers may be limited to a total of 3 minutes or less for all agenda items. Times may be shortened to ensure all speakers can be heard. A countdown timer will be displayed on the screen for each public comment. More time will be allotted for Spanish translation that is not simultaneous. For questions or issues on making public comment, please call the public advisor at 909-396-3247. That's 909-396-3247. Please adhere to the speaker time limit and treat others with courtesy, civility, and respect. Failure to do so can result in your mic being muted or you being removed from the meeting. Be aware that this meeting is being recorded. By participating, you authorize recording of audio and visual content presented during the live event and consent to subsequent use of the recording in the public domain by South Coast AQMD.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Call the administrative committee meeting to order. Can we get a roll call, please?
Good morning, Vice Chair Cacchiotti.
Here.
Board Member Krakow, absent. Supervisor Perez
Here.
and Chair Delgado.
I'm here.
We have a quorum.
Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get through the discussion items. Are there any board member concerns that anyone would like to bring up?
Nope.
Okay. I don't have any either. We have some approved travel. Does anybody have any questions about the approved travel? I don't see anybody clamoring for it.
Good luck in Germany.
Yeah, that's the out of country travel. Wayne, anything you want to share about that? I want to go to Italy too.
There's always room for you, Chair, if you want to join us. I will not be going on that trip, but we're actually been invited by Deutsche Bahn, which is the German owned railroad, and they're going to share with us some of their zero emission technology with regards to locomotives, as well as infrastructure. So it's a really good opportunity. The European rail network is very different from that in the United States. We have rail lines that are 3 miles long, rail cars 3 miles long. Just the power requirements is just vastly different. But we want to see what they're doing, and I think they want to learn from us as well. And then in Italy, it is looking at the ocean-going vessels in Trieste and understanding some of the opportunities that may present themselves for retrofit or for modification for vessels that visit our ports. So that's the focus, and I'll put your name on the list, Chair.
No, I think the staff listed there is more than qualified to take care of it. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
When is that? When is that visit?
That's in May.
Oh, that's a good time.
What are we talking about here?
I don't have the exact dates, in part because we haven't finalized that yet.
Well, I don't know. Madam Chair is not willing to go. I'm willing to go.
I say you take it for us. I probably can't go, work commitments, but if a board member from the admin committee is interested, I'm okay with that. I think it's a wonderful learning experience.
Well, let's if you don't mind, Wayne and colleagues and Madam Chair, I don't know if I can get the dates and maybe an agenda as to what potentially we're going to be doing. I'll take a look as well.
Yeah.
We'll get that information and get that out to you.
That sounds good. Okay, I was looking through the March 1st governing board agenda. And by the way, I am watching for any public comment that I will give it people a chance to speak, but there's nobody who's raised their hand online. For the governing board agenda, I personally don't have any questions and certainly want to open it up to the rest of the board. But I did want to go over, if we can, a couple questions I have for future board meetings. Does anybody have any questions on the March agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, my questions were just that the July meeting falls on July 5th. And I just don't know if that's ever happened before or what you all recommend.
We are not having a meeting in July.
Mhm.
So that's the month that we don't have a governing board meeting for the reasons you cited.
Okay, and then, so that goes back to my maybe not being able to come to the June meeting, but given that response, I'm gonna see what I can do about the June meeting. I'd hate to miss 2 months of board meetings, or, have a gap of 2 months.
Yep.
Okay, that covers my question. We have, Board Member Krakow has some compensation changes. We do need a motion for that.
Move approval, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second to approve the compensation for board member assistants. Do we need a roll call since it's,
Yes.
okay?
Vice Chair Cacchiotti,
Yes.
Board Member Krakow absent, Supervisor Perez,
Yes.
and Chair Delgado.
Yes.
Motion passes 3 with 1 absent.
Okay, and I still don't see any hands raised from the public. That brings us to the Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Efforts presentation. Dr. Herb Johnson.
Good morning, happy Friday. Just again, thank you so much for the opportunity to give you updates on what we're working on within our diversity, equity, inclusion with Community Air Programs team. Next slide, please. As it is Friday, I wanted to introduce you all to Shelly, I want to make sure I say it, Shai Galeski. We highlighted in the month of January, as everyone kind of has New Year's resolutions and so forth, we really wanted to focus on practicing some mindfulness and self-care. Audre Lorde once said that self-care is an act of resistance. And so we really wanted our team to be mindful of that. And so for last month, we did a self-care and wellness edition of Fabulous Female Friday. And so Shelly is a mindfulness teacher, a community organizer, and she really has, I think, created online community, especially of addressing wellness, purposefulness, self-care, especially in the role of activism and advocacy. And so our Fabulous Female Friday, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute, really was more proactive, and we actually did some meditation exercises as a staff. It was really great. But I just wanted to share her as a highlight because I think it's always good not to just talk about historical figures, but to talk about what is happening right now. And because there are so many polarizing things happening around social justice right now, we really just wanted to emphasize her and the importance that we have to be mindful and take care of one another in this time. So that is Shelly Shagiowski. Next slide, please. So we did, in the month of December and January, continued with our multicultural observances. So this was the second year that we introduced so many different holidays that many different folks celebrate, really trying to role model inclusivity. What we've heard from our employees is, okay, we know that what religion is this and religion is that, but I really like to see myself present in the workspace. And so we wanted to show as many holidays as we possibly could and not just focus on a few. So these were our infographics that we shared with all of our employees for the month of December. We also worked with our LPAM division to create information to share with our employees about Dr. Martin Luther King Day. I find that not everyone has a great historical understanding of Dr. Martin Luther King and what he stood for. So I love that our agency is actually going out in the community and role modeling that by doing our Habitat for Humanity, which I understand that our illustrious executive officer already told you all about. So Wayne told you all about that already. But we sent out infographics to our staff to let people know about Dr. Martin Luther King. So we did that in January as well. Next slide, please. Here is a copy of all of our winter multicultural holiday displays that we shared. So again, as I mentioned to you, wanted to practice inclusivity. So we had a tree and a menorah and a kinara. We had different holiday things that Persian holidays, butter sculptures, La Befana, which was from Italy. And there was just so much learning that our staff really enjoyed, and our feedback was just really positive that they really enjoyed being able to see so many different holidays. And again, reiterating their appreciation of being seen made them open to learning about other groups as well. We're also doing some displays right now, so if you're in the building, check us out, because there's Lunar New Year and Black History Month displays being put up right now. Next slide. And again, I already mentioned this, but our Fabulous Female Friday, we just wanted to share with you some of the comments that we got from employees, because we did some mindfulness activities where we did meditation, we did some reflective thinking. The staff's feedback was just really powerful. It was one of the most highly attended and most given feedback on. So people will attend, but then they follow up and give us feedback, and we do surveys and so forth. So more people attended and more people responded about the importance of prioritizing self-care and just what it meant for us as people doing this work around environmental justice, how it's important to balance that out. So next slide, please. We also are getting close to our Young Leaders Advisory Council that has been reinstituted. So our meeting is going to be on February 21st. We finally got a full crew of folks. I did want to let you all know that we have 6 members of our WILAC group who are former governing board interns from last summer. So about 1/3 of them are actually some of our former governing board summer interns. So we're very excited and really appreciative of the recommendations that we got for our Orange County representatives, which we were short. So we'll be giving updates to this group administrative committee moving forward. Next slide, please. Our employee resource groups have also been very active. We had pictures here are for 2 of our meet and greets that happened for our Halos and our Persian employee resource groups. They had meet and greets. This is when not only current employees, but some of the retirees will come back and join in. Our Barak group is planning their winter meet and greet for this month of February. And then our Persian ERG is starting to work on their Nowruz, Persian holiday celebration. So they have been very active. They're doing more in-person meetings and then also hybrid meetings, but they seem very active and engaged and wanting to get back to being in space with each other here within the agency. So this is our employee resource group update. Next slide, please. And then, as always, we have our monthly meetings in which our DEI with CAP team participates in our critical community conversations for purposeful outreach, our C3PO. And last month in January, we went to the San Bernardino Muscoy community. You'll see that we had 5 members of our CSCs and also community organizers who worked with our team as we visited San Bernardino College. We saw the air sensors on campus. We did a driving tour on West 5th and did the historic route of Route 66. We saw the concrete batch plants, the rail yards, mining operations, the no idling signs. One of our staff members was so excited. He's like, I was there. And he saw signs. He was very excited. We also got to visit the Muscoy Library and the Baker Family Learning Center. what we really appreciated was comments from the community members who really enjoy and like that DEI and community air programs are working together because they look at the intersectionality of diversity, equity, inclusion with environmental injustice. And so they really were very pleased that our team was out there talking with them and learning about their experiences with, and this is one of our year one communities, so they've been out there for a while. And so what we've heard from them is, again, wanting to interact with more CSC members. So I'll be looking forward to giving you all updates about how we're going to be doing more interactions between the groups. And next slide, please. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Board members, any questions?
No, just great job, as always.
Thank you so much. All right, that takes us to Sujata for the second quarter budget versus actual.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Sujata Jain, Chief Financial Officer. Next slide, please. So this is a presentation of our second quarter budget versus actual results for fiscal year 23-24 that ended on December 31st. And we'll go over a brief summary, and then I'll get into the revenues and expenditures. We have a slide on use of fund balance, and then we have the 5-year projection based on that. Next slide, please. So the budget summary is just showing that our adopted budget was a $196.3 million balanced budget. We had some few adjustments to it, amendments to it, and the results as of December 31st are showing that the revenues were at $109.3 million and the expenditures were at $90 million. The expenditures might be looking a little less because of the timing of payroll, and the revenues are looking a little higher because we do bill 2 months in advance. Next slide, please. So here are the revenue comparisons, and what we have done is we've also pulled the same revenue categories for the second quarter of the prior fiscal year. So the top 3 categories are our stationary sources, and you can see that those are trending, pretty much as they should. And annual operating fees too are pretty much similar. Permit fees, they're looking, as far as the cash collected, are same as last year. Our budget was higher in fiscal year 23-24, so in percentage, they're looking a little lower. We will keep an eye out on that. Mobile sources, they're looking lower percentage-wise because there was a DMV check that came in late. And others are pretty much same. And area sources, just a slight amount, and transfers in varies from year to year. Next slide, please. So this is a similar comparison, but it is for expenditures. And here you can see that salaries and benefits overall are a little higher because of the 3% COLA that we got last January. And then service and supplies, similar to last year. Capital varies from year to year, and debt service and transfers out is done. Next slide, please. So based on that, and so the next slide is on the use of fund balance. And you can see that we had a $1.2 million use of fund balance. Next slide, please. And so this is our 5-year projection. In this 5-year projection, there's a couple things going on. That, just as a reminder, of course, that our board policy is to keep the reserves at 20%. We will be coming with you with the 24-25 fiscal year budget, which we are in the stages of developing, which will be at a 13% vacancy. The CPI, which was projected for 24-25, was about 5.3% last year that we got. However, we are being told to probably it's going to be trending down to about somewhere between 3 to 4%. It hasn't come out yet, so we will be receiving that probably in the next 1 or 2 weeks. And we will be using that for our next fiscal year projections. And these projections also include the cost of the 4-year deal that was reached with all the bargaining units except the professional unit. So it does not include their costs yet. And lastly, no, I think that's about it. I already talked about the balanced budget. And with that, I conclude my presentation and will be happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much for that. Board members, any questions of Sujata?
Madam Chair, just one.
Go ahead.
On page 4 or 33, the revenue comparison 23-24 second quarter budget versus actual. I noticed the transfers in were significant.
Yes.
2050. What are those? What does that consist of?
So Chair, back, I want to say October or something, there was a big transfer in from Clean Fuels for the MATE study. So that equipment will be being purchased in the next, coming months, and it was for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any hands raised from the public. So thank you so much, Sujata, for that presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, Ron's up on the major ongoing and upcoming projects. Any updates you want to share with us, Ron?
Yes, good morning, Chair, members of the committee. Ron Moskowitz, Chief Information Officer. In the last month, we successfully deployed the tax update for the 2024 PeopleSoft W-2 and payroll processing. And we also worked with finance to set up and perform full integration testing with PeopleSoft Finance 1099 updates. For Replace Your Ride, we implemented vendor withholding status change for Replace Your Ride incentive program. Per the CARB and our legal guidance, applicants are no longer be subject to the 1099 tax withholding. So we work closely with finance again to modify the Replace Your Ride to finance integration and remove the withholding for future applicants. And finally, we implemented a new email security system. And so in the last 30 days since we've turned it on, we've stopped 509,000 phishing attacks, spam attempts, viruses, Trojan horses, and many other inappropriate and malicious emails. Everything else is on schedule and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ron. We've seen a lot from your team this week, I think, with the new email systems. And thank you so much for the withholding change to the Replace Your Ride. That's going to be great. Any questions from the board? Okay, I don't see any. So we're going to go to action item number 9, but this is also you, Ron, with amending contracts for short and long-term systems development.
Yes, this is a standard request to amend contracts for additional system development. The funds are in our budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
This requires a motion.
Yes.
I was trying to prod my fellow board members.
Move approval.
I will second it. Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Cacchiotti?
Yes.
Board Member Krakow, absent. Supervisor Perez? Did we lose him?
The chair's empty.
Oh, okay. Absent. Chair Delgado?
Yes.
Wait, we don't have a quorum if he's not there.
So let's, we can move on to the next item and hopefully he'll be back. If not, then we could have the 2 remaining board members send a communication to the full board.
Okay. Can we register his vote after? Because this is also an action item.
Yes, no, that's, yeah, if he comes back, then we could register his vote then. If
Okay.
not, then we'll just put a note in the board letter just noting that there was a communication from Chair Delgado and Vice Chair Cacchiotti in favor of this item.
There may also be a board member in the room back there. Supervisor Hagman may be here. Do you want it?
Yeah, yeah, I think we can hold the vote open until, and come back to it, just since his chair is still there and he's still on camera, I'm guessing he'll probably be back shortly.
Yeah.
But if at the end of the meeting he hasn't returned, then we can take some other steps.
Okay. Well, Bay, you're up for item 10.
Great. This action item is to amend the South Coast AQMD Conflict of Interest Code pursuant to Government Code Section 87306 Sub A. Under the code, individuals holding a designated positions are required to disclose certain financial interest. The proposed amendments will add and delete designated positions subject to the code's requirement and will also assign disclosure categories to the designated positions and make minor clarifications to the code, and also incorporate the code as amended into the South Coast AQMD admin code. That's all I had on that, unless there's any questions.
No questions here?
Okay, I don't have any questions. We do need a motion on this item.
Move approval?
I'll second it. Roll call, please.
So we still don't have a Supervisor Perez. I'd recommend that we go to public comment
Okay,
on the general public comment, although
there's not been any hands raised, but let's announce it. See if there's anybody here who has any questions or comments on items that are on the agenda or not. Actually, I'll be generous for it. We'll do item 12. So this is public comment, opportunity to speak on anything, any items. Where's
Chair,
Hart?
would you like us to see if Supervisor Hagman could be appointed to the committee for purposes of advancing those items?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Okay, I'll do you know how to, do you want to tell any jokes, Vice Chair? Any other business?
I'm not a good joke teller.
Okay. We'll take a break, 5-minute break. We'll
Thanks.
be back at 10:30 or sooner if we get a signal.
Madam Chair, unfortunately, Supervisor Hagman has left the building.
Okay. A doomed admin meeting. Let's.
So I think Bay will walk us through the options.
Okay.
Chair, my recommendation would be that the remaining board members, I don't think there was an actual vote yet on item 10, but was there?
No.
Just note their communication in support of this item, and we can note that in the board letter so that it basically just reflects that, so that it wasn't approved necessarily or recommended by the administrative committee, but that there was a communication in favor of it by the two board members present.
Okay, I'm in favor of it.
Me too.
Okay, so I think then we would we already went to public comment, and then I think the last item would be other matters in the next meeting date.
Yep. I don't have any other matters. Do you have any, Vice Chair?
Madam Chair, I do not. Thank you.
Okay, our next meeting is March 8th. Oh, we have the supervisor.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we can go back and vote on number 10?
Yeah, so I think we can take roll call on items number 9 and number 10. And if Supervisor Perez has any questions on items 9 or number 10.
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so item 9, moved by Cacciodi, seconded by Delgado. Vice Chair Cacciodi?
Yes.
Board Member Krakoff is absent. Supervisor Perez?
Yes.
Chair Delgado?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes 3 with 1 absent. Now item 10, again, motion by Cacciodi, seconded by Delgado. Vice Chair Cacciodi?
Yes.
Board Member Krakoff is absent. Supervisor Perez?
Yes.
And Chair Delgado?
Yes.
Motion passes 3 with 1 absent.
Perfect.
Thank you for bearing with me on that one there.
No, yeah, I think this is the fastest admin we've ever had. So
Yeah, I was like, okay, I think I got like 10 minutes real quick to take care of something else. All right, got it. Thank
we
you.
almost had a tap dance by by the vice chair too. It was we were trying to solve the time. But all right, thank you everybody. We'll see the admin committee in March.
Gracias.
Great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.